All right, I am your guest teacher today, Senior Celsius, because water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. Here is your title, Dividing Decimals. Don't forget, Mr. Bonnet, or Coach Bonnet, whatever you call him, told me that you could pause the video at any point. Okay, don't forget that. All right, there you go. I'm on page 12. I don't know what page you're on. Dividing decimals. So the first thing that I want to talk about is something you probably talked about in class whenever you did fraction, decimal, percent. To change a decimal to a percent, mathematically, using math, if a decimal was something like that, well, let's not make it that. Let's make it 1200. Using math, to move that decimal, to change it to a percent, which is a number out of 100, we multiplied it by 100. And each time that decimal moves, it's actually times 10. Okay? We're going to have to do the same thing with dividing decimals. All right? And this, just FYI, that would be 12%, okay, because it's 1200ths. When you move the decimal to the right, you are multiplying each place value by 10, which makes the decimal move to the right. Okay, so we have to do that when dividing decimals also. So this is going to look a little weird. It's going to look like a fraction, 2 5/10 over, I'm just making this one up. I'm not actually going to divide this one, over 4 2400ths. Okay, so you'll see problems like that, and as a fraction, this would be Norman, and this would be the donkey, Norman and the donkey. So when you build your division house, you're never supposed to let your donkey in the house. Okay? I let the donkey in my house one time, and I lost all my friends. Okay? So don't let the donkey in your house. So inside goes the numerator, Norman. All right? So that would be 2 5/10. Okay? Your donkey goes outside, which would be 4 2400ths. Here's the problem. We cannot have a donkey that is not whole. What I mean is the number on the outside, which is called the divisor, cannot be a rational number like that. It has to be a whole number. Okay? So to change this to a whole number, the 4 2400ths, we would actually multiply it by 10 twice. We would multiply it by 10 to put the decimal there, but we would have to multiply it again by 10. So it would actually turn into 424. Okay? And so when we think about fractions, we always think about numerator and denominator, and whatever you do to the bottom number, you also have to do to the top number. I think we talked about in kindergarten, when you have a birthday and you're going to invite kids, your teacher or your parents or whoever you live with would tell you, well, you need to give an invitation to everybody, treat everybody the same, and be fair. Okay? You have to do the same thing with fractions and dividing decimals like this. So if we multiplied that outside number, the donkey, also known as the divisor, then we also have to do the same thing to the inside. Okay? So if we multiplied, basically we multiplied that outside number by 100. Okay? So that means we have to do the same thing inside. We have to multiply it by 10, and then we have to multiply it by 10 again. Okay? So what do we put? What goes right here if we multiply it by 10? 0. So now we have 250. Okay, so a rule, this number on the outside, your donkey, always has to be a whole number. It has to be a whole donkey. It can't be a part of a donkey. All right, it's got to be a whole donkey. All right, so let's write down some rules. I'm going to write them. They're going to pop up on the screen here in a second. You can pause it, okay? All right, get this copied down. So right here, the divisor must be a whole number, okay? Then I have your, I don't know what it's called. I read it one time. This division symbol, it has a name. But then on the inside, whatever you did to the divisor, whatever you did to the guy on the outside, you also have to do on the inside. And I misspelled dividend, so I need to change that. I'm missing the D. Okay, there we go. Dividend means it's the number on the end whenever you look at this. Okay, so pause it, write this. All right, let's get started. So we have 6 45/100ths divided by 5/10ths. So what's getting split up here? The first number that you read is what's getting split up. Okay, so if we build our house, which I'm going to do right here. Actually, no, I will not. I'll do it right here. 6 45/100ths is getting split up into equal parts. Okay, so when we look at this, the outside number must be a whole number. Okay, so I talked earlier about multiplying it by 10, however many times you have to move the decimal. So that would be times 10. Okay, but here's the cool part. You don't have to sit on the side and write times. You don't have to like prove your math on this. Okay, what you do have to prove is that you move the decimal. Okay, so now the new problem so far is just 5 on the outside. Okay, treat things fairly. Whatever you did to the divisor or the outside number, you also have to do to the dividend, which is the inside number. So you would multiply it by 10. So the decimal moves one time to the right. So it is now 64.5. So what we do is we take 7th grade division and turn it into, where are we? There we go, 5th grade division. Okay, that's what this is right here. This is 5th grade division of decimals. And the first thing that your teacher would have told you to do is grab that decimal on the inside and just lift it straight up and put it on the roof. Okay, now they may have said something else. I don't know. Everybody tries to do something catchy. All right, so this decimal right here, we must put in our answer, or not in our answer, our quotient immediately. Okay, we're going to raise it straight up. And so here's where middle schoolers, especially boys, sorry boys, get in trouble a lot because we're a little sloppy, okay, when we write. So if we don't bring that thing directly up, we may get it to one side or the other and forget where it's actually supposed to be. Okay, all right, so let's start dividing. For division, I always like to think of how many times does something fit in there. Okay, so how many times does 5 fit into 6? Is 1 time. And then we're going to multiply. 5 times 1 is 5. And subtract. You have 1 left over. And we have a new division. Whoa, what is that, Bonnet? And now we have a new division problem. Okay, so now how many times does 5 fit into 14? 5, 10, 15. 15's too much, so 5, 10 twice. 5 times 2 is 10. Subtract. 14 minus 10 is 4. Bring down another time. 5. So 5 into 45. If you know your facts, you're already done. 5 times 9 is 45. So that's how many times it fits. You don't move decimals back or anything like that. Okay, you just have to start moving the decimals. Start the problem by moving the decimals, and then you're finished. Okay, so the answer is 12 9/10. I don't know why I'm highlighting that. I just felt like it. Okay. All right, so let's go to the next one. 8 and 28/100 divided into 4 6/10 equal parts. So whatever you read first is what's getting divided, okay, in this form, okay. 8 and 28/100. Oh, I'm changing colors here, even though I kind of like this color mixture. I'm going to draw my crib. 8 and 28/100 is getting divided by 4 6/10. Alright, so look on the outside number. If somehow I could write on my iPad two things at the same time, I could just put one thing on the decimal on the 4 6/10 and one thing on the decimal and 8 and 28/100, and I could move them to the right. I don't know what you're seeing on your side. I could move them to the right twice, okay, at the same time. Boom. Not twice, once, but each time, okay? Maybe that was too confusing. So right here, I'm not even going to multiply it by 10. I'm just going to move it. That's going to be 46. And this has to be moved once also. And so now it's 82 and 8/10. I'm going to rewrite that because I was a little sloppy, and it's going to be hard for me to do my work with where I put it. 82. There we go. So I'm going to erase this one down here. There. So see, I'm sloppy sometimes too. Alright, so back to 5th grade division. There we go. Grab that decimal, raise it straight up, put it in your answer or your quotient. Okay. So this is a bit tougher, right? Whenever the divisor is a big number, it just makes it a little tougher. Okay, so 46, I know it fits into, well, 46 doesn't fit into 8. We know that. So I'm going to put a 0. Don't put an X right there, okay? That's going to mess you up. I'm going to put a little multiplying thing right there just to remind me. All right, so 46 I know fits into 82 one time. I don't know about twice, so I'm just going to do 46 times 2 over here. Find out 2 times 6 is 12, carry 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 is 92. Okay, so it only fits one time. So then we'll multiply it. It's 46. We're going to subtract. You have to borrow. No, we just love borrowing. I'm going to borrow 1 from over here. So there, 12 minus 6 is 6, and 7 minus 4 is 3. Bring that 8 down. Remember, this decimal we've already raised up into the answer, so we don't have to worry about that. Now, 368. This is that fun division that everybody just loves, right? So I'm going to estimate how many times at the 46. I'm going to estimate at 50. And the 368, I guess I will estimate it at 350. So 5 goes into 35, what, 7 times? So I'm estimating this. I'm going to try 46 times 7. 7 times 6 is 42. 7 times 4 is 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. 32, okay. So I know it's pretty low, so I'm going to try 8, but I don't have to multiply again. I can just add 46 to that and see if it fits. Oh, it's going to work. Hey! So 8 multiply, which I already know it's 368. My video's running out of time, so I'm going a little quick. I have nothing left over. So it is 1 8/10. Okay. I will also do a little bit of help on the video, or not the video, the homework. Okay. Tell Coach Bonnet that Senior Celsius did a good job. Have a good one.